Okay, we've got another game here, game 3 of this series, and apparently this is also being co-casted by Panny, which makes me feel a little stupid because he's probably going to have way more people interested in what he's saying than what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm going to keep doing this series because, hey, I'm already 3 games in, who gives a shit at this point? And holy shit, this draft is going really fast, so I have to write this stuff down very quickly. Anyway, bands are out here. Bubbles, Bennington, Ophelia, Parasite. Pretty typical. Nothing there that's really worth commenting on, I don't think. So let's just move into the picks. Pestilence, Pharaoh, and Rhapsody all selected here by the Legion side. Once again, we're choosing not to go for the jungler, and we'll see if Hellborn choose to go for their own. They haven't picked one up yet, but interesting. Sync apparently really believing that they don't need to run junglers, which I guess last game they sort of proved that they didn't, and Keeper will actually be the last pick, so let's see if that's jungler. I hope so. Anyway. Initiation, very strong. Obviously, Pestilence Pharaoh are quite good at that. Push is a little bit better with Rhapsody, and the team fight also helping out with her as well. But this is a team that's mostly about ganking, jumping people, putting a lot of stuns down, and 3 solid picks, really. Obviously, almost certainly be a middle Pestilence Rhapsody with Pharaoh in the Suicide lane up top, and we'll see if that actually turns out to be the case. But no doubt, I believe that would be the expected configuration at this point. Meanwhile, Hellborn's side, Tundra, Torture, and Keeper of the Forest will be the picks for SG, and Torture are going to be in the hands of Z-Freak. I can almost guarantee Keeper of the Forest could be a Suicide hero, as Tundra could be in the middle, or we could see Suicide Tundra and Keeper Jungle. Could also see, I mean, you could see Tundra pretty much anywhere, so it doesn't give too much away, but I do hope it's going to be Keeper of the Forest in the jungle, as I think it is a viable strategy, and for some reason everybody's decided it's not. I mean, it's worked plenty of times. It's worked enough that you can be like, okay, Keeper of the Forest gets picked and we put him in the jungle. That's not crazy. Like, that's sort of, okay, that's the thing. That's going to happen, and we're going to deal with it however we can, but it's not like, holy shit, what are they doing? This is nuts. Oh my god, they're going to lose. And again, this is Scrim, so who gives a crap if they lose? Anyway, not bad. Either side going pretty well. Obviously push a little bit stronger here for the Hellborn, both Keeper the Force and Torture being able to do that. Teamfight I think would give them a little bit as well between the Torture and the Keeper, but the gank certainly a little bit better on the Legion side. Neither side going too well in terms of the late game. And both picking up strong support. Rhapsody I think a little bit better as a support than Torture is, but Torture by no means a bad support hero. We're a little bit further than halfway through the banning stage here. Swindle so far has banned out Gauntlet and Pebbles, so choosing to remove some of those mid-initiator type heroes, which is a little interesting because they have both Pestilence and Pharaoh. You think if, okay, like we're looking for burst damage, then I guess you could go for those heroes, but, sorry, it's Flensmeister's killing those here. What am I even talking about? What am I even talking about? Anyway, Flensmeister banning out a bunch of mid heroes, which makes sense because presumably Tundra will be in a Suicide lane, although we can certainly see a mid Tundra as well, so that may or may not work out too well. Jungle Master a little more versatile, so I think it makes a little more sense as a ban than either Gauntlet or Pebbles, but could certainly still make a lot of sense for this Hellborn side. Riftwalker will be once again the pick here for Legion, as they're going to go for the dual support strat again, and hopefully that works out for them. Obviously it did pretty well last game, as it took a relatively early victory, but I don't think that SG will be caught quite with their pants down like that again. Anyway, Hellborn's bans are Slayer, Puppet Master, and Master of Arms, so removing one support. Well, really, 3 heroes that could all be played as support, but it could all be played as carries, so it makes a lot of sense there, as both those roles really were not filled completely by the Legion side. No surprise they choose to go forego the jungler once again, as they've consistently been doing that. And anyway, Soul's giving me the last year pick here, so I like both sides bands. They make a lot of sense. The last two picks here for the Legion side are Riftwalker and Soul Stealer, so adding a lot to that team fight potential there with the Soul Stealer ultimate, as well as the Riftwalker Wormhole and the Cascade event and Rift Burn. So not bad. I still do think they lack a little bit of push, but the team fight's definitely there. The initiation is definitely there. The gank is definitely there. And burst damage not the greatest, but we'll see. They can probably do something. You know, they can probably do enough to deal with that. Meanwhile, Hellborn's side have a little bit more of that burst potential thanks to both Wretched Hack and Tundra, but still, neither side are like, oh my god, they're going to burst everybody down in like half a second. It's a little bit more subdued than that, I think. But also improving their team fight with a Wretched Hack pick, and we'll see what they go for here in this last slot. I would not be surprised to see a Chessie hero at this point, and have Torturer up top be babysitting him. Obviously Moon Queen's on the board, so Gemini, Sandwraith, Corrupted Disciple, Bushwhack, all very popular Chessie heroes. Dark Lady we saw earlier, of course. And really Swindle taking a lot of time to figure this one out. Tempest, I wouldn't imagine it's Tempest. Yeah, Alec can give me last pick, so it'll be in fact should be a Chessie hero. As almost certainly be sent up top with Torture in that dual lane. Middle lane perhaps can be Swindlebell and Tundra in the Suicide, and Keeper of the Forest. Yep, and Keeper of the Forest in the jungle. So we're gonna see the Keeper jungle here at this point, and I'm interested to see that because I think it would make a lot of sense. Although they did have the Tempest on the board, Tempest Keeper would have been really interesting in this lineup because that would have been so much push in team fight.
Let's get it on.
And in fact, that might have been a better selection. Put Chessie on that Hag, Tundra on Swindle in mid, and Suicide the Keeper. Could certainly have done that. I do think Keeper still is valid Suicide as well. It's not like that's really ever been an issue for him. Even with the change, the nerf, you know, that reduces his armor and stuff, he's still Suicided quite well. Not quite as tanky, not quite as difficult to force out of lane, but nonetheless a very powerful hero, and I really don't think that his suicide potential is being adequately utilized at this point. Regardless, it will be Limp on that Suicide Tundra, and we'll see how he does here in this bottom lane, presumably up against Soul Stealer and a zoning support. I would imagine it's Riftwalker. I think the Pestilence Rhapsody lane in the middle is a little bit too strong. They could theoretically run a tri-lane here, but I really doubt that's going to happen. I expect it will be the 1-2-2 strat going up against the 2-1-1 strat from Hellborn, so there are going to be no dual lane versus dual lanes, I don't imagine, in this game. It's mostly going to be 1 versus 2. This Chessie's already up here on the Malacan. Looks like the Z-Freak's heading top as well. Swindle heading middle. We could see a dual lane mid, I guess, with Malacan. I really feel like that's unlikely. No surprise, KZU on that Pharaoh heading top. And Soul Stealer hanging out bottom. So we'll see where Riftwalker and Rhapsody choose to go. And it looks like it will in fact be the Riftwalker bottom with Rhapsody middle. So nothing particularly surprising about either of those things. And in fact, Limp's going to take quite a bit of damage here as he puts the ward down, but he's going to try to pull the creep wave and should be able to do so. Let's see if he can get zoned at all. Up top, Torture and Malacan in a dual lane against the solo Pharaoh. No surprise really there. And bottom lane, of course, that Tundra. up against the Souls of the Riftwalker. Middle lane, we've got Swindle against Rhapsody and Pestilence. So once again, the lanes here are extremely predictable. Nobody going too crazy with their decisions. On bottom lane, Tundra. You okay here, buddy? Yep. Probably. We'll see. Taking a lot of harassment there, but that Stout Shield doing quite a bit of work. Swindle will be very difficult to kill in middle, as obviously he does have that blink. 2 stuns here from Legion Side Cicadas there will help to harass, but with the blink, not going to be easy to lock down, especially because Pestilence is, of course, that melee stunner. Top lane, Pharaoh could be in some danger, as he is, in general, not right now, as he is a melee hero without a great escape mechanism. And of course the stun of the sword throw being able to deal with the mummy walls fairly effectively. We'll actually put the ward down there, so we'll block the camp a little bit late here, but not bad. Won't be able to stack it here, as Zfreak tries to and is not successful. Similar situation with Tundra on bottom, though. Considering that the Legion do not have a stun down here, and in fact have only 1 slow, he probably isn't quite as much danger as Torture, or Pharaoh is up top, excuse me. Health pop being popped here by Limp on bottom as he's taking quite a bit of harass. And it looks like support's going to jump into the jungle here. And Minus going to have his health or mana potion knocked off. That took a while. But now, support, you're in some trouble here, buddy. Swindle not really going to choose to go over here, but Zfreak is on the warpath. There's the Impalement going to go down. Staccato's not going to do too much, and this is easily going to be a kill onto support. Last auto attack there. Does get the kill. Argument in chat as to how well Casey's doing up here. It is pretty good. I mean, he's at 260 gold per minute, which isn't bad at all. Chessie, of course, at 330, doing the best in the game. Right up for the Soulster, in fact.
Do not question me.
Man, apparently multiple people are casting this series. I feel kind of silly. Anyway. Middle lane, DG Rune here on Pestilence. Plus the Staccato Suns will lock Hag down, and that's just going to be enough for a kill on Swindle, as I guess he did not have a blink for some reason. He might have already used it. So 1-4-1 at this point. Game relatively even. But the farm certainly a little more spread out here on the Legion side, as you can see for the bars comparatively. Or from the on the Helper side compared to the Legion side, where it's pretty much concentrated on everybody except for the supports, everybody 300 GPM. As Kazu on the top lane is really doing very well. 300 GPM here on a Suicide Pharaoh is pretty damn impressive. As his bottle, we'll be able to spam all sorts of stuff now. Legion's Courier actually dies to Swindle, so whoops. It's a flying courier too. I don't understand how that can happen. But oh well. Cure the Forest now level 5, presumably going to be coming out of the jungle sometime soon. In order to Start pushing towers, maybe grab a kill out of this Pharaoh who is over here getting an invis rune. And Swindle, now you're in some trouble, buddy. Wrath of the Pharaoh obviously available. And will be visible there, so will in fact Wrath in. Rhapsody's here as well. They're going to try to get the kill here, not going to be able to do so. And the port's coming as well. Rhapsody will in fact get the avalanche off. Keeper's coming here with the root. Will be able to lock down Mickey as well. There's the last hit, and going to be a double kill. As a Limp picks up both of them. Nice gank there from not only Limp, but Keeper of the Forest coming in at just the right time to be able to kill both that support Rhapsody and Mickey as that mid lane farmer. I think Casey really got a little too aggressive there. If he had waited, you know, been like, alright, I'm going to mummy walls, force you to blink out of them, then Wrath on top of you. I mean, I'm sure that was the initial plan, but probably should have stuck to it because the initial Wrath, even with support coming back on the side with the Staccato Stones, probably wasn't going to be enough to be able to lock down Swindle and kill him, especially with the TP coming in. Soul's doing, but I'm still doing pretty well here at 345 gold per minute, but Chessie at 375 doing even better. Swindle will be able to blink out middle, and we'll just be fine. Minute room we bottled up here. Swindle Melons has a regen. And some stacks being cleaned up here in the jungle by Solstice there. Obviously going to be able to catapult his farm, now getting over 400 gold per minute with a Vulture Lord kill. And taking the crown from Chessie, who has himself gone to the jungle a little bit here. Keeper Root is back up, so they're looking for a gank once again. McKay perhaps in a little bit of danger. And here comes Riftwalker as well. There's the initiation onto Swindle. He's going to take the Staccato Stuns as well, and that'll be a nice kill. Chain reaction is not enough to save him. Wrath of the Pharaoh here onto Z-Freak. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Puts the mummy walls down, and the Impel is not nearly enough as he just gets destroyed. Chessie just continuing to not leave this lane. 400 gold per minute, you can see why maybe he wouldn't, but Flensmeister really in a similar situation on bottom. So both of them are going, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Pause coming out here, but obviously we have auto skip pause, so not gonna matter. Okay, I won't. Tundra's kind of a dick. Don't question me. What do you think, you're a god or something? Because he is. It's the Odin one, so he's a god. Get it? Yeah. Alright, sorry about that. Anywho. Pestilence, you're in some trouble, buddy. Hag coming off the side. There's the avalanche, as well as the bat blast, and you're just dead. all of the dead. And there's a couple of ultimates were used there, of course, and Mickey on that Pestilence drops once again. Off the side, Riftwalker getting a cascade onto 2. Wrath of the Fair coming in on Z-Freak as well. He'll put the mummy walls down, and Z-Freak's in a lot of trouble here. Dance Floor going to help finish him off, but there's support coming in here from the Hellborn side as well. Tundra going to jump in here onto Pharaoh. Chessie's finally here. Wormhole going to hit onto 2, and both Swindle and Chessie are in a lot of trouble. He'll be able to blink out. Chessie's putting the ult up, and will try to walk away. Piercing Shards coming out, and we'll see if they can actually do anything about this. We'll port back. Where am I? Where am I? I'm over here. I'm over there. Cascade Event gonna help. And actually he's now trapped, and that's gonna be easy kill there on a Chessie. So, whoopsie doodle. Off to the side, Swindle gonna try to do something. Will in fact gets lap killed, but he dies as well as the root comes out. Not gonna be enough as he Z-Freak gets destroyed. So obviously the pesty bugs helping to kill as Mickey is coming back into this fight. Now Tundra in some trouble as well, taking a lot of tower damage. Didn't actually hit the stun, but this is probably still going to be enough for the kill. Onto Tundra. Lost auto attack? Nope. Not enough range. So Limp just barely able to survive there, but his entire team is dead. And Z-Freak in fact died twice. Total 5 hero kills there. I think the only ones they picked off were Zlap and Mickey. So another strong fight there for Sync, as not just because obviously they won a bunch of heroes. They took a bunch of heroes, but Flens lived and Chessie did not. So Flens now at 470 gold per minute compared to 370 from Chessie, and obviously this is becoming a bit of an issue here as the Legion sides. Late game isn't quite as strong as Hellborns, I think, just because of Malakin plus Hag, but by no means are they inept, because Pesty does pretty well. And of course, Rhapsody is a support that scales extremely well, not just because of the Dance Floor, the stun also doing well, but the ultimate is fantastic, and even the Arcane Hymn starts to become a bit of an issue as the magical damage increases from his teammates, particularly Soulstealer. This team was Denial, you moron. It's a good one. Got stuns there onto Hag, but not going to be too much, and she'll be able to do whatever she wants pretty much. Put a couple auto attacks around support. Port coming in up top, but is going to try to stop the push here from Pharaoh. And there's the sword throw. It will actually not hit, as it was nicely done there by Keizu. And they're going to counter response here. Wrath of Pharaoh here on to Keeper of the Forest, plus the bugs. He's totally screwed. Hag hanging around here for some reason. I don't really know why. Swindle has a blink up in a second, but he needs to get the fuck out of there. Not going to happen, as there goes the counter blink from Pesty, and that's going to be 2 kills. So I'm not really sure why Swindle decided to stick around, but for any reason, like he wasn't going to be able to do anything. And is this like a baseball player, Malakin or something? Doesn't look like it at all. I don't understand why it made like a baseball noise. Anyway, tower falls up top as the Legion are pushing as 5. Flensmeister getting all the creep kills because he's a selfish bastard. Because it's the greed alt avatar. Get it? Gotta get it. Off to the side here, Malakin getting trapped out a little bit by Riftwalker. Pestilence gonna try to chase down Z-Freak. Chain reactions will hit, but nope, not going to be in any trouble. And we look like a Tormented Soul going to throw out there. Ultimate ear chucked in there by Pesty, plus the ultimate going to hit 3. And in fact, we'll be able to kill Swindle right off the bat. Chessie going to fall as well. Keeper going to put the ultimate, the Nature Spell down, but it's not going to be able to do too much. And the vote to concede comes out. That's going to be another kill onto my nuts. The GGs are called, and that's the game. So Sync all of a sudden really just destroying both of this game and the last one. Quite easy sub 20-minute victories, and this game more than the last one. All of a sudden they just were like, all right, let's kill everything, and they took a bunch of team fights, got a lot of kills, and take the victory here. So series all tied up here at the end of game 4, and we're at 2-2. So let's move to game number 5.